Well, surprise, surprise. WWE had a close to perfect match in front of them that they could have given us at WrestleMania. And instead, they gave us something else. Something good. It's not going to be bad. But it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Anyway, though, we had WWE Smackdown tonight, and this is WWE Smackdown Explained, the weekly video series where we take a look at everything that happened tonight on Friday Night Smackdown. We take a look at how tonight's events will affect future storylines, where WWE may or may not be going with some of this stuff, and we take a look to see how things are starting to take shape as we head down the road to WrestleMania. Before we get started, though, you're here because you like wrestling content. I'm here because I make wrestling content. You should hit that subscribe button. You should hit that bell for notifications. Come, hang out with us. Check out some of my other videos. I'm sure if you look around, you're going to find something you like. Now, let's talk wrestling. Yep, let's start off with tonight's main event. Look, it's not that WWE is giving us a bad match. Of course, Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton is going to be a good match. Of course, these guys have history. These guys, have wrestling chemistry. These two dudes are two of WWE's biggest main eventers. They are the faces of Friday Night Smackdown at the very least. Yeah, of course this is going to be a great match. I just felt like, given that we already have CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, two very established stars, two of WWE's biggest draws, as the main event of night 2, that is definitely main eventing night 2 of WrestleMania. Maybe we could have gotten something a little bit different with night 1's main event. Maybe we could have gotten something a little bit different with the Undisputed Championship, right? Maybe we could have made a star in Jacob Fatu. Maybe we could have crowned it. Look, tonight, when Sami Zayn was bouncing around between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, talking about how, like, man, this is weird that, like, you're still getting everything you wanted, even though you got screwed just kind of like I did, and that sucks, but, like, that's weird, right? I thought maybe he was going to get involved in the main event, and I thought that WWE was actually going to give us, a 5-way match. Hell, after Trick Williams got RKO'd in the beginning of tonight's show, I thought, hey, maybe we're getting a 6-way match, whatever the hell you want to call it. Maybe we're going to get, this multi-man match, and yeah, WWE's going to give us a great main event where we can create a brand new star. We can get Jacob Fatu to where he needs to go. We can get Trick Williams a championship on his first year in WWE main roster. We can get Sami Zayn to win the big one finally, right? WWE was finally going to give us something different, but no, they gave us essentially similar things than we've gotten in the last 4 WrestleManias, right? It's Cody Rhodes again, main eventing WrestleMania. He did it against Roman Reigns twice. He did it against John Cena last year. He's doing it against Randy Orton again this year, and it's a lot of the same. It's a lot of the same. And let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong, but it just feels like it just feels like WWE just doesn't have an imagination. It feels uncreative. That's the word I'm looking for. It feels like, like I said, they had a better match in front of them. Hell, give me a triple threat match. You didn't even have to complicate it. Or a fatal 4-way match. You didn't even have to complicate it. Give me Jacob Fatu interfering in the match, screwing over Drew McIntyre, which, all right, the whole thing with the chair, right? Like, I rarely curse in my videos, but that was absolute bullshit. Because this was a no DQ match. So what is Jacob Fatu interfering with the whole taking away the chair thing? Right? If it's a no DQ match, then Drew McIntyre is doing everything that he can do, everything within his grasp to win this match. So technically, Jacob Fatu did screw him over. Why get him involved this way? Why get, like, Drew or Jacob Fatu? The whole point of Jacob Fatu isn't that he cares about righteousness when it comes to this title. It isn't that he cares about Cody Rhodes not getting screwed over by Drew McIntyre. He's out for blood. He wants to hurt Drew McIntyre because he thinks Drew McIntyre attacked him. So if you really want to justify Jacob Fatu getting involved in this match, he should have just attacked Drew McIntyre instead of doing this bullshit of just taking the chair away from him so that he didn't win by the rules of this match. You can't even blame this on Road Dogg's bad booking. Road Dogg isn't even there anymore. He quit. He's gone. He's no longer booked SmackDown. This is all Triple H. What a just so uncreative, just so uninspired. Yeah, let's put the belt back on Cody Rhodes. Let's have him face Randy Orton. And like, again, don't get me wrong, that's going to be a great match. It's going to be a fun match. But it just feels like a lot of the same. It just feels like it's the same main event we got last year. It's this tired old veteran on what may be his final run, trying to win one more after he's won it, 14 times. This would be his 15th championship. It's the same main events as last year. And yeah, of course one of them's going to turn heel. Maybe it'll be Cody. Yes, that's great. It's all great. But you could have done that in a bigger match. You could have had two rising stars within WWE and Jacob Fatu and Trick Williams be part of one of your night's main events at your biggest show of the year. But instead, you're giving us same old. It's just it's very disappointing. Right when I think WWE is cooking, because CM Punk and Roman Reigns, that match is it's gonna be a lot of fun, right? It's gonna be a lot of fun. CM Punk's the best in the world. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I just thought that we would get something different because CM Punk and Roman Reigns are two already established stars, and WWE just doesn't think about its future. You have such talented young superstars on your roster. And I get it that it may not be their time, but at least have them be part of this match. Yeah, no, I got excited when I saw Sami Zayn bouncing around. I said that already, but I did because I was like, oh, are we adding him to it also? But no, we didn't. We absolutely didn't. There's just so many different ways that this could have gone, and WWE chose, I wouldn't say the worst, because I think the worst would have been Drew McIntyre winning clean and then having a one-on-one match between Drew and Randy Orton, because that would have gotten us absolutely nothing that anybody wants. But this definitely wasn't what I wanted. And yes, we're probably going to get Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu one-on-one because he was screwed by Jacob Fatu, and he was screwed by Jacob Fatu. Again, this was a no DQ match. Why does Jacob Fatu go out there and take the chair away from Drew McIntyre? So we're probably going to get a one-on-one match between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. And yeah, that match is also going to be great. But wouldn't it be great if all four of these guys were in one match? That would have been so much better. WWE. I just hope that you learn from your mistakes in the future. I really do. We got to start building up stars, and instead you're giving us a bunch of 40-year-old dudes. Cool. Yeah, that's fun. WrestleMania, baby. Also, sure, they addressed the whole thing with Drew McIntyre saying that Cody Rhodes could never challenge for the title again if he lost that 3 Stages of Hell match, which he did. They addressed it, but okay, we're just going to ignore that was a thing. We're just going to be like, oh, no, I changed my mind. No, Nick Aldis changes his mind because he wants to, because Drew is being a heel. Not that heels haven't been heels before. It's just, it was just really disappointing. Okay, so if contracts don't matter, what's the point of having a contract signing next week? We're going to get a contract signing next week between Randy Orton and now Cody Rhodes. So what's the point of that if contracts don't matter in WWE? I do think that Sami Zayn is turning heel. I think he's turning heel probably, I don't know if it's before or after WrestleMania. I think that his match will ultimately be against Trick Williams. I actually kind of would like him to get involved with Aleister Black. He had that moment that he shared with Aleister Black after Sami spoke to Randy Orton, and Randy was like, sometimes you got to listen to the voices in your head, and sometimes you just got to be selfish. And I think that Sami took that to heart, and I hope that he did. Sami Zayn, I went from being intrigued to being bored, and now I'm intrigued again. he definitely needs some sort of character refresh. And I think aligning him with Aleister Black, having them be, these just like heels that were never treated correctly, so they had to turn heel kind of thing. I think that that's interesting. Yeah, I think that we're going to get Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. Trick Williams is definitely getting a WrestleMania match because he absolutely deserves a WrestleMania match. He had that moment he shared with Randy Orton today when he came out and interrupted Randy Orton's uh, his promo at the beginning of the show. He got RKO'd. Of course, I mean, he's not. Again, I thought that maybe he would get involved in some sort of way. He didn't. That's fine. But yeah, I think that we're going to get maybe a double turn between Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. Trick Williams is currently the heel of this whole thing. Sami Zayn is a babyface, technically, I guess. I think that, look, everyone loves Trick. Everyone loves Trick. And I think that Sami Zayn does need a character refresh. So I think we're going to get a double turn at WrestleMania here. No one's booing Trick Williams. I also don't need Trick Williams to be, Cody Rhodes now. I don't need Trick Williams. If we turn Trick Williams babyface, we don't need another Cody Rhodes, another like jolly good guy. We need The Rock. That's what we. Trick Williams can absolutely be The Rock in a lot of ways, right? In popularity, in terms of his promo work is up there, his popularity is up there. He can be a tweener guy, play the Stone Cold, the Rock. I don't know. I can't think of other examples. Kind of the LA Knight, I guess. Right? Just like a tweener guy that does the same thing that he's doing now, just against heels instead of baby faces, and we can all cheer him like we want to cheer him. Like the crowds are cheering him, to be fair. So yeah, that's what I think is happening with Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. It'd be great if they were in the main event match, fighting for the championship, but they're not. They're not gonna. Moving on to some better things, though. Danhausen. Danhausen was on our TV again. I hope that Danhausen doesn't get stuck to one roster. I hope that they have him jumping back and forth between Raw and SmackDown because I want to see him on my TV every week. I want to see him on my TV for every single WWE program. This guy is so entertaining. He's so fun. That moment he had with Nick Aldis today, he had another list, a list of demands. I am excited, Hausen, for Danhausen. I am a Fanhausen. I'm a Stanhausen. I'm all in Hausen for Danhausen. He demanded a mentor so that Nick Aldis took him over to The Miz. I want to see more. I want to see more of The Miz with Danhausen. Danhausen was like, you're going to be my mentor because you can take me to the top. I want my own TV show and you can also get me there. And if you don't help me, you better help me. Otherwise, you are cursed. And then he said it because the curse is canon in WWE now. He's like, if you don't believe me, look at what happened to Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, look at what happened to Dominic Mysterio. Miz, do you want to be cursed? No, you don't want to be cursed. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I hope that cursing people, I hope that Danhausen's curse means something in WWE, even if it's not like a huge thing, right? But like little things of bad luck, like, I mean, Dominic Mysterio lost his title, but maybe like The Miz like breaks his glasses or something, right? Like little things like that. I love it. I love it. I think that this guy is going to get so over. This guy is going to be a fan. He's already my favorite. I wasn't like super duper knowledgeable of Danhausen before. He's like, yeah, like I hadn't seen AEW then. So just like clips here and there. Like I wasn't watching AEW week after week, so I didn't really like catch him every time. Just like little clips here and there when someone sent me something that was funny, or I saw something with the Woke Culture guys, and I was like, oh, let me check that out with Danhausen. And yeah, the dude is super entertaining. The dude was super fun. But yeah, now that I have him on my programming, and now that he's part of storylines, I'm all in, man. Danhausen, I'm a Fanhausen of Danhausen. I can't wait for WrestleMania Hausen so that he can have a moment Hausen. We had tag team matches for both the men's and women's tag team that would determine the number one contenders. On the women's side, we had Julia and Kiana James versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to determine the number one contenders for, what are they called? The Irresistible Forces, is that what they're called? Nia Jax and Lash Legends titles. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss won this match. They did point to the WrestleMania sign after this, so I hope that this doesn't mean we're getting like just a regular tag team match at WrestleMania. Like, hopefully we'll get them to have a match on like a random SmackDown, then Charlotte and Alexa maybe win or get screwed, whatever. And then we get the multi-team match that I'm not the only one asking for it. I watch other YouTubers. I watch other content creators for wrestling. There's a lot of us wanting this. And I'm sure, look, let me know in the comments. Do you want this? Do you want a multi-team tag team match at WrestleMania for the women's tag team titles? I don't see why you wouldn't. It's great, and it would give so many of these women that don't have a specific direction right now, Bailey, it would give so many of them an opportunity to be a part of WrestleMania. So yeah, I hope that this match is on a random episode of SmackDown, and I hope that we ultimately get what I've been asking for since last September? Whenever the hell Rhea Ripley and Io Sky won these titles. I don't know when that was. No, it wasn't when they won. It was when Charlotte and Alexa won it. I don't know. I don't know who had them, but I've been asking for it for a long time, and I need it. I need this match. Whatever happened to the Bellas wanting a title match? They came out the night after the Royal Rumble. They're like, yeah, we want a shot at the tag team titles. And then we haven't seen them since. Give us what we want, WWE. I have no faith in you anymore. What am I asking for? On the men's side, we had a gauntlet match that featured... Ooh, let's see if I can remember everyone it featured. It featured Fraxium. So the first match was Fraxium versus Motor City Machine Guns. Fraxium won that match. Then we got Angel and Berto, Los Garzas versus Fraxium. Angel and Berto won that match. Then we had the Wyatt Six come in. Angel and Berto won that match because the MFTs got involved. Then we had R-Truth and Damian Priest, which is really random and just really feels like we want to give Damian Priest something to do while we figure his character out. And they actually ended up winning that match. So Damian Priest and R-Truth are our number one contenders for the MFT's tag team titles. After this whole match, we had a video with Bo Dallas basically warning Solo Sikoa that he was going to hit him where it hurts, which was his family. So yeah, he's definitely going to get involved. The Wyatt Six are definitely going to get involved in that match. R-Truth and Damian Priest are definitely going to be tag team champions. And I think we're going to get something at WrestleMania between the Wyatts and the MFTs. I don't hate it. It does feel like it's been happening for way too long. I wish they wouldn't do this every week, but I'm excited for it. You guys know I love the Wyatts here, so I'm all in. Yeah, also we're going to get Damian Priest and R-Truth. I don't know, Wepa Truth. I don't know what was R Wepa Truth. I don't something Wepa, right? We're going to get that. Remember when R-Truth came out after he got fired and he like cut his braids on the desk and he's like I'm not a clown anymore. You guys and like you're not getting R-Truth, you're getting R Killings, right? I am not R-Truth. I'm using my real name and I'm the tougher guy now. And I'm not your comedy act. And we were like, ooh, are we getting a new rougher R-Truth? Ooh, are we getting an R-Truth that like we're supposed to take serious? Are we getting the same R-Truth from TNA? Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. And then we never got that. You guys remember that? You guys remember when WWE did that? That was the thing that WWE did. But we're not getting that guy. We're getting R-Truth and Damian Priest against the MFTs. And sure, yeah, whatever. It's good. It is what it is. Give them the tag team titles. Let's get the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six. I don't know what you do with the tag team titles at WrestleMania, if anything at all. Moving on. One of the highlights from tonight's show was we got Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill face to face in the ring, and I can't tell if these two women hate each other or if it's all part of the show, because I think they hate each other. After seeing them tonight and Jade being like, I respect you, like I admire you, like I admire your buff body, I admire your work in the ring. I don't know what she said. Basically, like being like, I'm a fan, and then Rhea Ripley being like, yeah, like I'm a fan too, and you're bigger than me, and you're stronger than me, and you got bigger shoulders and thighs and head, shoulders, knees and toes than I do. And like kind of like a weird love fest, but being like, your body's made for show and my body is made to wrestle. And she said, my body's made to fight, is what she said. And I'm going to beat you. The difference between me and you, as she said, the difference between me and you is if you hit me with your worst shot, I'm going to get back up. But if I hit you with my best shot, I'm not sure that you will. And I want this match so bad now. I want this match so bad. This was the match I didn't know I wanted. This is one of those rare instances where WWE gave me something better than what I wanted. I don't know if that's not true. Because what I wanted was Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill. Obviously, we weren't able to get that because Bianca's still hurt. But I love the way this match is going. I can't wait to see this match. I think this match should main event night 1 of WrestleMania. There, I said it. I think this match should main event night 1 of WrestleMania over Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I said it. I said it. Let me know if you disagree. You probably do. But yeah, I can't tell whether these two women hate each other or don't after this whole promo. But I'm in. I'm all in. I'm all in. I want this match. Give it to me tomorrow. Give it to me every week leading up to WrestleMania, and then give it to me at WrestleMania again. Apparently, we're going to get Michin versus Jade Cargill next week, though, which, fine, like, cool little warm-up for Jade, I guess, but no one believes that Michin's winning this match, right? Like, we're not going to get, like, Cody Rhodes beating Drew McIntyre, right? There's, like, zero chance that that's happening. We're just going to get her, like, just destroy Michin and be like, all right, Michin, go do something else now. Give Michin the U.S. title. That'd be nice. That'd be cool. I think she deserves it. I think that'd be great. They're not doing anything with Julia anyway, so just give it to Michin. Great. But, like, let's cut it out. Let's cut it out with the Michin Jade stuff. Like, we get it, Michin. You walk around with a candlestick. Cool. You're fun. Let's just get out of here. Get out of here. It feels like when you're a big brother and then you hand your little brother like a controller that's unplugged, and you're like, no, you're totally doing something here. No, this is totally the buttons you're pushing. No, that's totally what's happening on the screen, dude. Like 100%. That's what it feels like with Michin. Just send her. Just give her the mid card title. Give her the U.S. title. I don't think anyone would hate that. I actually kind of would love that, but like do something with her once you give it to her. Not like with Julia. We had Carmelo Hayes defend this title in an open challenge against Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. That match was a lot of fun, but again, like none of this drives any stories forward. I guess like you kind of did have the whole Ilya thing after this, where he was talking about his mom being a fighter, and that's why he wants to go after the U.S. title eventually, I guess. But yeah, the whole thing with Carmelo Hayes and Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., that was a fun match, but that's all it was. I need a story. I need a story for our U.S. champion. I just do something that might get us to WrestleMania. Plain and simple. The last thing I do want to talk about, though, is this Johnny Gargano thing where he was moping around again in the back like he does. And then eventually Candice LeRae was like, dude, snap out of it. Like, give us Johnny Wrestling. You're Johnny Wrestling, the guy who used to do it yourself. And then Johnny Gargano stood up and he's like, you're absolutely right. She's like, where are you going? And he's like, the ring. So he went out there. He posed an open challenge. He's like, anyone in the back who wants to face me right now. He was still in his street clothes, by the way, which, okay, fine, I guess. And who answered this call? No one else but Obafemi. And this just made me be like, oh, no, yeah, no. Johnny Gargano's definitely leaving WWE and going to AEW, which good for him. If that's what he wants to do, great. Wrestlers should be able to go wherever they want. And if he wants to leave WWE and go with Tommaso Ciampa at AEW, I'm all for it. But yeah, Obafemi came out. He destroyed Johnny Gargano as he's been doing. Again, I want to see Oba go 116-0. Right? I want a Goldberg-like streak for Obafemi. I want him to go to WrestleMania. I want him to squash Brock Lesnar. That is what I think we're going to get with Obafemi. I do think that Obafemi is going to answer Brock Lesnar's open challenge. And I want him to squash him. I don't want this to be a real match. I want him to squash him in less than a minute. Sure, like let's have Brock Lesnar give Oba an F5, and let's just have Oba stand right up, put him across the ring, give him that power bomb thing that he does, and 1, 2, 3. That's all I want from Obafemi. I think we're gonna get a match. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get that match between Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. I'm not sure if WWE has what it takes to squash Brock Lesnar, but we're definitely gonna get that match at WrestleMania. All right, so there you have it. That is what happened tonight on Friday Night Smackdown. the ending just really dampened tonight's show for me. I thought the show was going pretty good. It had a pretty good pace. Matches that we had were really fun. The Sami Zayn stuff was really fun. Danhausen, of course, a highlight for my day every single time. But that main event match, there were so many better places to go than the way that they did, man. They gave me options even in the beginning of tonight, being like, "Ooh, maybe they're adding more people to this match." And look, there is a contract signing next week, so like there is. So you're telling me there's a chance that Drew McIntyre gets involved in there, that Jacob Fatu gets involved here. Right? We had Trick Williams already have that moment with Randy Orton, so maybe he gets involved in this as well. Maybe also Sami Zayn jumps in there, and maybe WWE will still get us what we want. But I'm not hopeful. I don't think so. I think we're just going to get a normal one-on-one match. I do think that Drew might get involved, but then Jacob Fatu is going to attack Drew, and then that's going to set that match up for WrestleMania. Just a one-on-one match between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. Cool. Let me know in the comments what you thought about tonight's show. Let me know in the comments what you think about Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Again, it's not going to be a bad match. Nothing in me is saying, oh, this match is going to suck. This match is going to be great. And I'm sure the story they're going to tell is going to be great. And I'm like 75% sure we're going to get a heel turn by one of these dudes, hopefully Cody Rhodes. And that's going to be great. So yeah, like there's nothing about this that's bad or not fun or not interesting. I just feel like we had a better option and WWE said, nah, we're not going to give you that option. Anyway, though, since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. If you haven't subscribed, why don't you just subscribe, dude? You're already here, man. And also, like, click on the video that'll be on your screen at this point. It's probably there by now. Like, it was probably there earlier, but now it's there still. So, like, click on the video, watch it. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be something you'll like. I can promise you that. Anyway, though, as always, until next time. Have a nice day. How's it?